Here's something I want you guys to think about, and I need you to think about it carefully, because the road that our species is on, there's nothing good in the future for us. All right, so I want you to listen. So we've been fighting all this time for thousands and thousands of years. For what reason, I have no idea. It's usually for shiny objects and to have control and power over each other, and to think we own land and think we own the goal and think we own where the water flows, right? And where all the green grows for food. We think we own it all. So then we started to, as a species, start to use force to control, because we wanted something that was there for everybody. Then as time went by with that mind frame, we started to get lazy, right? So we had to take 2 rocks to hit to try to make a spark to create fire. And eventually, we found fuel or gunpowder, whatever you want to say, we found first, so that it got easier to light that flame. And then as time went on, we end up having matches, then we end up having lighters. Right now we have propane that we could use to light gasoline. Anyways, but got easier. Now you don't have to take those rocks and mash it together, or turn the stick fast enough to get some smoke coming out of the other piece of wood, so we could light the fire. Same thing with everything. It got easier, right? You don't have to sit on the floor, you don't have to sit on leaves. We got comfy cushions. Now we got chairs, we got couches. You don't have to sleep in a hammock on the ground anymore. We have mattresses, we have pillows. Right? Everything got easier. You don't have to chop anymore. You have blenders, you have food processors. Everything is easy. So we've made everything easier so that we could do less work. Now you don't even have to ride the bike rides for you. Now you don't even have to drive some cars, the cars drive for you. You don't even have to worry about looking. The car will tell you when there's another car there. You don't have to remember phone numbers anymore. It's in your phone. So we're creating things to make it easier for us, and so where we don't have to think as much. And that wasn't good enough. So what we have started doing is creating robots to do all the work, to put the cars together, to put the drinks in the bottle, to everything, to cut the cane fields. We have created everything so that we use our bodies less. Even though our blood cells are just going back and forth from the heart, up and down your body, waiting for us to make some movement so it could do what it was created to do. But we don't have to anymore, because we have that wonderful machines and phones and whatever else we have created to make our lives so much more easier, so that we don't have to move as much, so we can get sicker. And so that wasn't good enough still. By creating all those robotic things to take away the work from us, we said, you know what, we can't think anymore, and nobody wants to work anymore because they got too lazy. I wonder why they got too lazy. Is it because we don't have to pound our stuff up, our garlic, to mince it up, we can just throw it in the blender? Is it because we're not getting enough exercise? Because everything that we're supposed to be doing, we have created something to make it easy, so we don't have to use our bodies the way it was designed? Have we become weaker minded and weaker in our bodies because of the things we have created? Absolutely. Have we become sicker? Did we create the diseases that we have now because our bodies are not doing what it's supposed to do, and we're not eating how we're supposed to eat because of the foods that we have created? Natural food wasn't good enough for us, so we had to go and mess with it and create stuff out of chemicals to put in the food so that it could kill us faster, so we could be dependent on healthcare. And the medicines that we are taking destroys our bio inside, everything, our stomach, our DNA. And not only does it destroy us, when we let our waste out, it destroys and changes the DNA of everything else that's around us. Keep listening. Then the AI now that we create, and because we're too lazy to do the work from all the things that we created to do the work, now our mind has gotten lazier and our ability to do work has become lazier because of the things we have created, the food we've created, the things we have created to do the work for us has made us lazier. So now obesity is on the rise, right? Everywhere, not just America, everywhere obesity is starting because of all the nonsense we are creating to eat and all the work that we have created something else to do for us. So our blood cells are just going, okay, what are we supposed to be doing? Back and forth, heart pumping, back and forth, and it's slowly moving now. And we just eat and it's just slowly moving, and then it's like, all right, we don't need to do any hard work anymore, so let's just store up all this artificial food and chemicals we have in our bodies to create fat cells, and let's just hibernate all year round like the bears do in the winter time, because we have an abundance, right? We don't have to wait every season for avocados anymore. It's there all the time. We don't have to wait for grapes and apples. We can get it anytime. Everything is in abundance. You open up your pantry, everything is there. You go to the store, everything is there. Right? You have about, 2 or 3 weeks worth of food in your pantry. Right? Everything's in abundance. You boom, 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 you have it right there. You don't need to eat every day. You don't need to eat all day long. Does animals do that? No, they eat. And then the lions don't need to eat, so they walk around with all the other animals because they're not hungry anymore. You only need to eat when you're hungry. But we have become hungry all the time because they have the abundance in food. I only eat once a day. And I'm stronger, healthier, and more focused than I've ever been in my life. And then also, now this AI is doing everything for us, so we don't need to think. We could just write a sentence. We don't even care how it's worded, and then it will generate the information for us, so we don't need to think anymore. So the more we don't have to think, the more we don't have to do. There's a movie called Where's Wally, or Wally I think it is, where we destroy the planet and we're on this big ship floating in the space, and there's nothing to do, so everybody's just fat walking around eating and doing absolutely nothing because all the technology is doing everything for us. To barely even walk. And that's what we're leading our life into as we continue to create more garbage. And the more garbage we create, and the more things we see, the more things we want, and the more things we take from the planet. Remember, one handful of dirt has more living organisms in it than there is people that's ever been on this planet. So every time we dig and every time we build, we're destroying those living organisms. The more people that we produce on this planet, the way we are doing it, the more we cut down, and the more we dig, and the more we take, and the more we drink. And we're not really drinking all the water. The water that we're using is to feed all the animals and all this other nonsense that we're using it for, other than us drinking it, which is what we need the most out of anything on this planet is water. So here we are, human species that don't care about water because we don't care what we do to the ocean. We think we can't mess it up, but we have already done that because half the coral is gone. We have killed and destroyed more than half of the fish's houses, their place to live. We're warming up the ocean where it's taken so many thousands of years to get to the level of a perfect temperature to just stay calm. But we have become so greedy that we have taken everything more than we should from the planet. And the planet is now restless because it's not supposed to be that way. And now it's going to take it all back because of what we all did. I'm guilty, you're guilty, we're all guilty. Because of what we have done and what we have seen and what have reproduced and what we play on TV and what we show on phones. Everything that we have created right now. It's because of our minds and the way we think. Because of what we've seen and what we've heard. We're not thinking for ourselves anymore. We're just living in the past and reliving it over and over and over. Instead of saying, hey, we need to stop what we're doing because we've been doing it for so many years. And it's not working, and it's only destroying, it's only hurting us more than anything else. But nobody wants to stop because they think the money that they get and the things that they build and buy is what has value. When the only thing that has value is where we get all these things from. Because once that is gone, where are you going to get the things from to create the things that you want or see? You see, because they're not important. What is important is the planet and your mind thinking about doing the right thing for the planet. We're just here like a flower in the wind, here today, gone tomorrow. Just remember that. So what you do and how you do it and how you think matters. Love always. John Dallsingh.